Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm very pleased today to welcome to worship someone who has been a friend of First Church. She has done remarkable things with us in developing our programming, but she's never been in the sanctuary. So can you give Dr. Marcia Bayne-Smith a big round of applause? Let me tell you a little about who Dr. Smith is. She is, my technology is running all up and down, but she's an associate professor, an associate chair for graduate programs in the Urban Studies Department of Queens College. Dr. Smith has over 30 years of experience of doing population and community-based research, not just here in the city, in different parts of the country, in parts of Africa, the Caribbean and Central America, and in Israel. She is the founding member of the Caribbean Women's Health Association and its first president, bringing it from an organization that was an idea to one that in its early years had about $6.5 million in its budget. Dr. Smith is the recipient of the 2006 to 2007 Fulbright Senior Fellow Award to Israel, where she taught community organizing strategies to collaborations of Muslim and Jewish women organizers in Jerusalem and to students at Sapir College, which is a college of Tel Aviv University. When you look on Dr. Smith's resume, almost every culture represented here, she's had the chance to work with us. And so I want to welcome you, Dr. Smith. Thank you for what you've done with First Church, and to ask you about your origins. What gives you the drive to achieve and to do the things that you do?
I would say there are several overarching themes that have pretty much governed my life. But the one that I think I should stress in terms of your question of origins is family and the support that came from family. My sister and I tease each other all the time, you know. I tell her she was my mother's favorite. She says, yes, but you were my father's favorite. My father literally believed in me and communicated that belief. And I don't think my situation is unique. I think every person sitting here, whether you have children of your own or not, there's some responsibility to encourage. If we can encourage one other person, the world would change within a year. I didn't always feel I got things right. There were times I was down. I'm down sometimes now. I call on my good friend to say a word of encouragement, and he does. We all need it. Like we need water. That is the psychological and emotional water that we need.
From your beginnings in Panama to being a world-renowned educator, teacher, planner, developer, what would you consider to be your greatest achievements on this journey?
I have 2 children. They have given me 4 grandchildren. The youngest of which will be 2 in March. Those are my greatest accomplishments.
What would you say to somebody who feels like they have so many obstacles in their way that they can never really excel, that they always feel like they're being set back? What would you say to them?
When I started to respond to your initial question, I said there were 3 overarching themes that governed my life. And I do not need to go back to the encouragement. I think I made that point. But there are 2 others. And I will say to you, on the day that you feel your lowest, your absolute lowest, that you can't go anymore, draw on 2 things. One is whatever source of encouragement you can find. I will call my friend Dr. Cicely Rodway at 5 in the morning if I need encouragement. Because you need somebody to instill in you sometimes the strength that you don't have. And on a good day, most of us will not find the strength that we need. So it's about developing a capacity for perseverance and determination. My father said, I had no money for you to go to college. But if you persist and you're determined, you will go. Persistence and determination. Those 2 things, you have to get it from friends, from your pastor, from wherever you can. That's one issue. The last, but probably should have been the first, is faith. You cannot, trust me, you will not succeed without a faith that is so deeply anchored, wherever your anchoring is, wherever you grab when you have a problem. If you grab here, some people grab here, some people grab here. Wherever you grab, your faith has to be so deeply embedded in you that it is impervious to change. 9/11, tsunamis, whatever will come at you, and it will come because that's life. We all get hit. I don't care who you are. If you can go into a quiet corner, sit down, and just call on your God. You don't have to shout and cry and plead, because he is already interested in taking care of us. He died. He sent his only son, and son died for us. All you need to do is say, Lord, here I am. Right now I need your help. I can't do any more on my own. And if you sit quietly, when you get up, you'll have some direction. I guarantee you this. Over everything else, faith in God.
My final question.
He said 3, you know. He promised me it was only 3.
As a black woman who has been successful in relating to a diversity of cultures, what advice would you have to all of us in this room who want to be successful here in America and internationally?
And let me say that we are a unique people. Those of us who claim blackness or identify with it in any shape or form. We are an incredibly unique people. We come from cultures that are as old as any of the other recorded ones. The birthplace of the human race was in Africa. We are strong. We are capable. We are extremely intelligent. You can't take a wealthy person and put them on the street to live for 2 months and they survive. A black person can do that. Most times. And there are always exceptions. Because what happens is that we lose our way. We lose our sense of our identification. We lose our sense of our strength. And we forget who we are. And so when we forget how strong we are, how our people, look, I come from a place where the French were building that Panama Canal, and they had to give it up because they were using the wrong labor pool. When the Americans took it over, the Americans succeeded. Why? The Americans succeeded because they went to the West Indies and brought all the West Indians to build the canal, and they succeeded. They succeeded. We're a strong people. We're a mighty people. We're God's people. And if you can only hold on to that, no matter what, listen, prejudice is all over the world. You can't go to a country where there's not some stigma against blackness. But you have to hold on to your identity of who you are. You know what your mother has done to keep you fed and in an apartment in New York City. You know what your grandparents did in the West Indies to get your parents to a point where they could even come here. You know your history, and if you don't know it, know it. Find it out and tell your children. Their success will depend on their ability to walk through life in black skin with nappy hair and tell themselves, I have all that I need within me to be successful. Because you do. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I know it. Yes, you can.